Howdy everybody, another update on the saga of the check valves and so forth. This is the opposite side, I guess the engineer's side, no wait, fireman's side, thank you. Loco parts boiler check valve. I took it off, took the top off, and it's built just like the one I showed in last night's video, and it seems fine. So I don't think that's what our problem was. Perhaps it was the priming of the axle pump, or the fact the axle pump's been sitting for so long, so I just don't know. But that will be the next thing I'll take apart. Like I mentioned before, I'll have to slide the whole thing forward. The axle pump is located right under here where my index finger is pointing, so I'll need to get some clearance, and it'll be difficult to get very good footage of that. But the nice thing about it, and you'll see when I finally do the video about it, is the way that Fred designed this pump. I can put my finger on where the nuts are that hold the check balls in place, so it's doable to get to it. We'll see. I haven't tried to get to it with the cow catcher on there, so that'll be a whole nother layer of complexity, but anyway, we'll get to that when we can. So further troubleshooting, looks like that check valve is okay. Need to put it all together. I'm going to let it sit, let the boiler air out for a while. The other thing I did was, as I mentioned, I had not, when I originally built this tank for the tender, I did not contemplate having a pump inside here, but let me turn the light on over here. There we go. That's the overhead light. So I finally took the top off. There's the top for the tender. It's out of some pretty thick, I think it's 11 gauge steel that I made that out of, and I think the sides are 16 gauge and the baffles are 16 gauge, I believe, with 1/2 inch angle iron pieces. And as you can see, the entire inside of it, I coated it with POR 15. It's an automotive product that I used for many years with car restoration projects, and I've done undercarriage of my old pickup truck in POR 15, and the stuff is amazing. You can see it's still sealed, nothing is cracked. I mean, this thing's been sitting out here for, I don't know, at least 8 years, through freezing cold winters and hot summers, and not being used. I had water tested it a couple of times, and anyway, just thought I'd point that out. So the POR 15 stuff really does hold up well, and I wanted to take the top off because I'm trying to figure out now where I'm going to put the hand pump, and the obvious place is right here. I could reach it with the access cover from the rear there, and activate it back and forth this way. So we'll see. Fred, Chuck, Pete, any of you guys, I'd love to hear your comments on that. There's not really enough room to put the axle pump on the sides here. You can see there's a couple of the drains. You see I've got the fine screen around them. These are valves I built to Allen's blueprints. I made them myself. This is what I contemplate is having the valve for the injector here, and over here is the valve that will be the cutoff for the water bypass for the axle pump. So the piping, I showed that in previous episodes. So there's the tender with the top removed and looking good, and this is the next update I'll do. I'll probably come back to the locomotive, get it in place. I'm anxious to take the water pump apart and take a look at the innards of that. That thing I built, if you want to see the actual water pump, one of the very first videos that I uploaded on the channel, probably around 2013 or so, was the axle pump test. And I had it rigged up to my homemade bandsaw over there, and I was pumping it. I can't remember if I had the water up where the bandsaw is, and I had the bench vise somehow holding the pump. So that's tonight's update. Thanks for watching. I'll keep you posted.